Okay, professor has problem 5.13. Alright everybody, here's problem 5.13. And what we've got here is we've got two industries, one which has an inelastic demand and one which has an elastic demand. So here's how I'd set up the diagram. I'd probably put both industries on the same diagram here. It'd be maybe a little clearer. Right. And I'm going to have the same supply curve for both, because we're not really thinking about we're not thinking about elasticity of supply. We're thinking about elasticity of demand. So I'm going to have S, and there's a pharmaceutical good. I'm going to call it insulin, SI. This is also the supply of computers, so I'll call that SC. Alright. And then we have two kinds of demand. And the first kind of demand is pretty inelastic, so I'm going to draw it steep, like this. And I'm going to label it DI. That's demand for insulin. And this says that when the price of insulin changes, not much happens to the demand for insulin, because people figure they need the insulin, and there aren't really any very good substitutes. On the other hand, computers we'll say has a more elastic demand, DC. And here we'll say for now they have the same price, PI0, and we're going to say that that equals PC0. Now, what we're going to do here, just think about it, change the units. So maybe a price of a day's worth of insulin is $40, and so so we could say, okay, it's not a day's insulin we're talking about here. It's a year's insulin or something, and so therefore it's $3,000, and the computer costs $3,000 for one computer, something like that. So these prices are equal. Okay. QI and QC over here, and they start out with the same quantity. So maybe the quantity is how many computer hours you're using or something like that. So here's QI0, and it equals QC0. Alright. Now, something happens, and what happens is that the supply curve shifts. And it says that the supply curve doubles for any price. So if price is 0, if price is this much and quantity is 0, then the new supply is 0. But if supply is this much, because price is this much, then you got to double that, about there. And so you get something like that. Okay. And so here's the new supply, SI prime, and the supply of computers, SC prime. And then let's see what happened to price and quantities. All right, well, the quantity of computers goes up by a lot, because computer demand is elastic. When people see the price go down a little bit, they really want a lot more. On the other hand, the quantity of insulin, QI1, doesn't change very much, because people are only going to take so much insulin. The price drops. It's not like they're going to buy more insulin. They already kind of buy what they buy. Okay, so here's the picture again. And if we think about the questions, A says, what happens to prices and quantities? Well, we see that the price of computers goes down from P0 to PC1. So the price of computers goes down. and the price of insulin also goes down. Meanwhile, the quantity of computers goes up, and the quantity of insulin goes up. Part B says which price changes more. Well, the price of insulin goes down to here because that's where the insulin demand curve hits the supply curve, so it goes from P1, and here's the change in the price of insulin. It's that much. Okay? Change in the price of insulin. Okay? On the other hand, the price of computers doesn't go down as much. Okay? Here's PC1, and this is the change in the price of computers. So the change in price of computers is smaller than the change in the price of insulin. Part C asks which quantity changes more, Part C. And we can see here that the quantity of insulin just goes up a little bit, but the quantity of computers goes up by a lot. So the change in the quantity of computers, C1 minus QC0, is greater than the change in the quantity of insulin, QI1 minus QI0. Computers are elastic in demand, so if the price goes down, lots of people go and buy computers, they buy more computers. Insulin, however, is not elastic in demand, and so when the price goes down, people don't buy that much more. Now let's look at the changes in expenditures. Okay, original expenditures in the computer market equals the original price in the computer market times the original quantity in the computer market. Okay, this is the original price in white. There's PC0. This is the original quantity. Okay. So price times quantity is this white rectangle. The subsequent price is PC1. The subsequent quantity is QC1. So the subsequent expenditures are this box. So EC1 is that box. Now notice what happened. Quantity increased a lot, but price didn't decrease very much. And the reason that happened was because demand for computers is elastic. So price could go down just a little bit and people would buy way more. What's that mean? It means since quantity went up by a bigger percentage than the price did, that you end up with bigger expenditures. And the change in expenditures, the blue box minus the white box, if you think about it, is this blue area minus the white area. And that's the change in expenditures, and that's for computers that is positive. They are spending more on computers than they used to. On the other hand, if we think about what's happening in the insulin market, the original price and quantity multiplied together equal the area of the white box, but the subsequent price and quantity here's PI1, it's right here. So there's the price, and here's QI1, it's right there. The subsequent price in quantity is the white box minus the red box. So the change in expenditures for insulin are the white box, the red box minus the white box. Okay. So notice that the red box is bigger, is smaller than the white box. In other words, this red area here is smaller than this white area. And so what we have here is expenditure falling. In other words, expenditures on insulin went down because the price went down a lot, quantity didn't go up very much. There you go.